Hi guys, Braxton from Kombi Coffee here. The French press is a classic method. I mean, super classic. This has been around for forever. Just because the French press is a very classic and easy method, all you gotta do is add your coffee, your water, you wait, you press, you drink. But today, I'm gonna show you some tips and tricks that show you how to get the best coffee out of this French press. Some of the things you're gonna need to brew this French press is obviously a French press. Whatever size you have is great. Obviously, you're gonna need some delicious, fresh roasted coffee. Hopefully you're choosing Kombi Coffee today. A scale, this is just an Amazon Basics. It's like $9.99. It's very simple, but it always works great. You're also gonna need a water kettle or something to just boil your water in, or boil some water over the stove. However, but this works really great and it's simple and it's actually really quick. Ground coffee. Hopefully you have a grinder at home and preferably a burr grinder. If not, you can buy it ground from us or from whoever you're getting your coffee from. But we think that it's best if you grind it fresh right before brewing. A couple other things you're gonna need to brew this coffee today is 2 spoons. I like using some good soup spoons, but whatever spoons you have work great. I use a little jar and you'll see why we need this later. And then obviously a cup to drink it. And maybe another cup, but that's up to you if you feel like sharing. Today we're gonna be brewing with a ratio of 15:1. So 15 parts water and 1 part coffee. Brewing in a French press is known as an infusion or an immersion brewing method, which means that all the coffee and all the water are hanging out for the whole duration of the brew. This means that we're gonna need a little bit more coffee to water ratio than we would if we're doing a pour over or a pot of coffee. Today I'm going to be brewing 500 milliliters of water, so a half liter, and we're going to be using 34 grams of coffee. Today the grind setting we're going to be using is about what you'd be using for a pot of coffee or a larger pour over, so it's definitely more on the medium side of a grind rather than the very, very coarse grinds that has been typically used in a French press. Water is up to 98% of your brewed coffee. That means that you need to be using good, tasty water to brew your coffee with. That's gonna give you the best tasting coffee. All right, so let's get to brewing this coffee. So we have our 34 grams of coffee. We're gonna grind this at a medium grind, similar to what you would use for drip coffee. All right, so we have our French press here. And we're just gonna put some of this hot water in just to heat things up. It doesn't have to be for a long time. We just wanna get things a little warmed up. And then we're actually gonna pour that out into the cup we're drinking from so that that's preheated as well. So we're gonna put our coffee in. And we're using 34 grams today. All right, so we're going to tear our scale that has our coffee in, and we're going to start our timer at 4 minutes, and we're gonna pour in 500 milliliters of water. All right, so we have the lid on our French press. We don't have the plunger sitting on the coffee yet, it's just above. And we have our timer going for 4 minutes. After your timer goes off, there's gonna be a crust that is formed with the coffee. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our spoon and we're gonna break that crust and we're gonna stir it around a few times. After that, we're gonna take our 2 spoons and we're gonna scrape all that's left on top, and we're just gonna pop it in this little jar here to help clean up the French press a little bit. All right, our timer has gone off. We're gonna take the lid off of our French press and we're gonna take our spoons, one of them to break this crust, and the other one we're just gonna get some of this foam. We're just gonna grab it, toss it into a little jar or a cup or a bowl, and this will just help clean up the coffee a lot. This is going to be one of the things that differentiates a decent French press from a great French press. It's too hot to drink right now anyway, so we're going to set a 7-minute timer, and we're just going to wait, let the coffee cool down, let those grinds settle a little bit, and then we're going to pour it and enjoy. Because we waited that 7 minutes for the coffee particles to settle naturally, this coffee isn't going to have any silt or any sludge in the bottom of your cup. Sometimes you'll see that, and it's going to taste clean. It's going to be very transparent. There's going to be a nice creamy mouthfeel. It's going to be bright, but there's not going to be any sort of muddiness in this coffee whatsoever. Oh, that's tasty.